But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy who reviews tech all the time and loves to give his conversation to you guys on smartphoneconversations.com. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So I put out a video earlier today saying 4 reasons not to purchase the Pixel 4 or 4 XL. Some of you guys definitely read the title, saw the thumbnail, and started typing. And you didn't watch that video because it's not like what you think it is. So if you haven't seen that video, you definitely need to go check it out, because I know that's how YouTube works. People look at the likes, dislikes, thumbnail, title, and start typing and giving their opinion long before they even watched the video. I actually premiered that video earlier today. Depending on when you're watching this, I premiered it, and now this video is here hours later. I know you didn't think that I was going to just post a video saying 4 reasons not to purchase, because to me there are a lot of reasons that you should purchase this phone. So I took a few notes and we're going to go over them in this video. These are just a few things right off the top of my head. But let me start by saying I absolutely love this device. Regardless of what everyone else says about this device, I made that other video. It kind of went over some people's head, I can tell in the comments, but you know, those are the things that other people feel about the phone, and I somewhat agree with some of the things. But in this video, we're going to talk about some of the things I truly enjoy about this phone. And the first thing is the software. The software on the Pixel devices, bar none, to me, is the best Android experience you could possibly get. Now, there'll be some people out there that say, oh no, the OnePlus does it better. But that's a personal preference. But I still say, and I don't know how a person could even try to argue that, but stock Android starts with Pixel devices, no other devices. So that's a tough argument for people to have with me. But stock Android is stock Android. Others can capitalize on stock Android and build it the way they want to build it, but Google does it the best. And that is my personal opinion. This software flows with no issues whatsoever. I have yet to have a problem with the Pixel 4 XL any kind of way. It just doesn't happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, because there are plenty of people out there that just don't like it. You know, they didn't like the software, they didn't like this, they didn't like that, they switched to the OnePlus. You know, that's their personal preference. But for me, stock Android should always start with a Google device, and I think Google is doing it the right way, and other people are capitalizing on that or changing it or adding to it to where they see fit. So software, top of the list. Next on the list for me is cameras. These cameras have proven themselves, and time again, I did a blind camera test, and I won't reveal, actually I've already revealed that for some people that are paying attention. I've already revealed what camera I was going against. But the point is, I think this phone takes the best portrait still shots and the best still shots pretty much on any device that I have. And that's just a personal preference. I would say I prefer the way most of the photos come out, like 90 to 100%, or 90 to 10%, 99 to let me get it out, 95 or about 99% of the photos that come from this phone definitely look better than anything I've ever pushed out on any other device. And that's not to say that other devices are bad. It's just that I prefer, which you have a preference too, and tons of people who have the Pixel know that this phone takes fantastic photos, and it's hard to beat, especially for portrait photos. I've heard some people argue, well, the bokeh effect or the blurred background is way too much. It's too blurry. Again, personal preference. I personally like how sharp Google's portrait photos are with the subject in focus, and I don't really want to see the background. It should be blurred out. And I think Google has mastered the art of portrait photo taking and also still shots, and they should be rewarded for that, I think. Now, the next thing on the list is the screen. Google put a Quad HD display in the Pixel 4 XL, and then they put a 1080p display in the 4. Both phones, I checked them out, both phones, and I've been using the Pixel 4 XL since launch, and the Pixel 4 XL has a beautiful Quad HD display, and the Pixel 4 has a good 1080p display. But having a Quad HD display is a bump up, and it is looking good. It's very nice, it's very sharp. It's not the best Quad HD display, but the fact that it has one is important to me sometimes, because I like to watch videos in 1440p when I can, especially 1440p at 60 frames per second. So the screen on this thing, the display is absolutely great to me. I have no quarrels with it, and I don't think that again, I've gotten better displays on my desk right here, but for what this phone is offering, the fact that Google put the Quad HD display in there, I'm happy. Now, build quality, obviously, is something that you're going to decide whether you like the way the phone looks or not. But I just see this and I think of Bumblebee. I see Bumblebee on the back of my phone, his little face. But build quality overall, folks, this is one of the best feeling phones you'll ever hold, because it has a soft touch back frosted glass with matte sides. It is absolutely boss, and it just feels fantastic in the hand. Grippy. You don't need a case. I've even removed my skin for now, and I put a different honeycomb skin on the camera portion because it's black. But overall, folks, the hardware in this phone to me feels fantastic. It is just a great overall experience for holding a device. The rounded corners, just the way you hold it, it just feels fantastic to me. And I don't have to say too much about that. The hardware build quality to me is really, really nice. Now, some would argue, oh my gosh, it's got that large top and a small bottom. Well, in that large top, it's tons of technology that is worth talking about. And that's another key point about this phone that I actually like. The technology inside the phone. You've got call screening as a service that they have that you can use with Google devices. But then you've got that radar and all those other things in there. Lots of things going on here with this phone that are not on other phones. And I think it's just unique. Google chose to remove the fingerprint reader. And honestly, it doesn't even bother me anymore. But what does bother me, though, is you can't log into certain apps with, but other than that, it's not a deal breaker. I just can type in my PIN or save it that way. But the overall tech inside this phone and what this phone is bringing to the table, it's impressive. And I think people should take note of that. Call screening is really nice. And the sound recorder on here. I now basically do all of my posts on my website when they're really long with the sound recorder, use the transcript, put it over, boom, done. It is perfect, man. It is so flawless. It's unreal how well Google put that together. And it's just good, and it works for me. I currently use that to type out long posts on my website, and it works. Just go in a few tweaks here and a few tweaks there, and I'm all set with no problems whatsoever. Now, I was looking at a post on Twitter from Mark. He's one of the people that works at Google with Team Pixel, and he was talking about the battery life, and he showed a graph of the battery life for the Pixel 4 XL, I think it was, and the Pixel 4 XL was second on the list amongst a whole slurry of phones, and I concur. The Pixel 4 XL for me, battery life has been fantastic, man. I mean, I made a video the other day and I was talking about the standby time, and a lot of people jumped out there and just ran with it. Oh, it's good for you because you're not using it. I use this phone every day alongside another phone. The fact that this phone has fantastic standby time is extremely impressive. I've gotten more than 3 days of standby time out of this phone with maybe 6 hours of screen on time or so. That's impressive to me because the phone is there for me when I need it. But I think the misunderstanding is that some people think that I pick the phone up, use it for 6 hours, and put it down and the battery's dead. No, that is me going to the phone in and out, on and off, phone call, text message, email over the 3-day period. I don't know how people interpret the screen on time versus the standby time. Just because a phone has long standby time doesn't mean that it's not getting used. Come on, folks, use the left side of your brain. This phone has great standby time, great battery life. For me, battery life will depend on you. Remember that Uncle Sam a long time ago? You people are old enough? Yeah, but that's important to me. Battery life is very important to me, and this phone has showed and proved me that it can actually do it. Now, one thing that's might shake up a few people is when I say the price is not that high, and I've actually said this already. The price isn't that high based on its competition. Does that make sense? I mean, seriously, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying this phone is priced right, but based on the competition, it is priced right because it's offering just as much, if not more, than some of the competition for the phones that it actually goes against. And I think it's comical when people say, oh, you shouldn't compare that against the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Well, what else am I going to compare it against? That's a phone that's directly competing against. Is it not? Of course it is. Some people are trying to downplay it and say this is a mid-range phone. Get out of here. This is a mid-range phone is the Pixel 3a. Come on, folks. It's so much dislike and hate for this phone. It's unbelievable. I just don't understand it. And most of those people don't have the phone. That's the shocking part. You're just going by what you read online. And you got to stop doing that sometimes. You got to get out there and go get it. Not phones, but Period. Go get it. Don't be a person on the sidelines cheerleading all the time. Go get it. You have to eventually. So this phone right here is priced high, but it's priced high right up there, but lower than its competition. That has to make sense to you, son. You can't not see this. Don't give the competition a pass. And theirs cost more. And this phone definitely is better in a lot of ways. Anyway, it's your man Jay. Those are several reasons why I feel like the Pixel 4 is definitely worthy of you giving it a shot. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy who reviews tech all the time and loves to give his conversation to you guys on smartphoneconversations.com. It's your man Jay. See you in the next one. Take care.